Welcome, bounty hunters and Star Wars fans alike. It is your favorite Monday night Star Wars fan show. All bets are off. We're actually on a little earlier than we expected because guess what? The move went well. So it is I, the Tuscan Toast, Jason in beautiful Miami, Florida still. And with me as always is the charismatic Carillion Brian, my cousin in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Spurs that don't have LaMarcus Aldridge anymore.
You know that yeah. That again, I you're gonna yell me off the show for this.
Oh, Emily?
Oh yeah. Um I mean, really that move should have taken place like, well, I don't know, 3 seasons ago.
Yeah,
And
probably. Probably.
I'm really beginning to question, and it's through no fault of his own. I'm just saying that Pop's career could be running its course. I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
he's dealt with so much, and the man's tired,
I-
and it's
I'm
showing.
I'm sure he is. I mean, he's
Yeah.
probably ready to pass it on to the next generation. I mean, who knows? Becky Hammond could be the next head coaching candidate, the first
Well, I mean,
female
if
head coach in the
if
NBA.
if they don't do something soon, she's going to be making. She will be the first head coach of the NBA, the first female head coach. The question is, will she be that in San Antonio? That's the I. You know,
Who
I.
knows? Who knows? It'll be
You know,
interesting to see.
I
But
mean, he's facing a very tiring summer
mhm.
because he still has to coach the Olympic team, and somehow, by a miracle, even with the challenges of Aldridge and everything else, he still has the team within the 8-7 spot.
Oh
So
yeah,
if they make the playoffs,
that's a
and they
long summer.
if they play through May, the Olympics are going to start early this year in the first week of June because of what happened with the virus.
Hmm.
So he's looking at going from May with no time off.
Yeah, he's just
I
working
can't
straight.
even, that's insane to me. So
Yeah, it's just going straight. I mean, I got to commend the guy. He's staying super active and super busy, but I mean, there's got to be a point where you just got to
yeah,
chill.
I mean,
Um,
you might need a fresh mind in there to start looking at. I mean, it's like I say, I just really feel that Aldrich move should have happened a long time ago, and
mhm.
it's when you get tired, some things don't seem as a priority as other things, and it just you know a lot of it had to do was that they made a commitment to each other that the reason they were both there was because they wanted to be together on the team. But I mean,
Yeah, but
it
then when he joined, you had Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. You
right.
had
It's that nucleus is now gone.
Yeah,
So
the Spurs as we knew in
they're done.
2014 when they won the championship is gone. And then a year later when they get LaMarcus Aldridge, I mean, and it looked like they were gonna blow out the the Golden State Warriors after that first game. They beat them by like 25 points in the playoffs, and then of course they went on to lose to the eventual NBA champions.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that was his chance. That was the year that you had the shot to do it, and it just never materialized. And of course, everything that happened with Kawhi happened with Kawhi. Tim Duncan retires, and then Ginobili and Parker there. Parker gets hurt, and then Ginobili is the last of the Spurs, pretty much, and then he finally
Hmm.
retires. So,
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's part of the pains of it's part of the pains of rebuilding, man. It's just how it goes.
yeah.
So
So we,
it,
so yeah. Okay. What is with the NBA? Well, because we're big sports fans too, and this is our only catalyst to talk about this kind of stuff
for
for right
now,
now
we've
until we
we've had
branch
something
off.
tinkering around for quite a while that we just haven't gone to yet. But this will be our one little sports tidbit for the night before we
Before
get
we get
into
back
all the
in,
good stuff.
yeah, we'll get back into nerd stuff here
Yeah.
quickly. So we left off a lot last week. It was kind of a hectic week for me, so we kind of left a lot on the table, but that's great because we have a lot more to talk about tonight, which is
Yeah.
good.
Which is good.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of stuff happening, not just in Star Wars world, but in DC
Yes.
and other
DC's
nerdom.
they're having a hell of a week.
Oh yeah.
Their DC content across the board. I
Mhm.
was looking some stuff up today. Just DC content in general between DC animation and DC TV series and DC films,
Mm-hmm.
the streaming is just up everywhere because you got one or two things. Everyone's doing their homework for the Snyder Cut, which means they're going back and they're checking out the Batman versus Superman
3
extended
days.
Dawn of,
3
extended
days.
Dawn of Justice. Yep, 3 days.
Yep, got 3
So,
days.
so, so they went back and did their homework and they started streaming extended Dawn of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's some that really didn't get into any of it and they're going as far as back as Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide. They're doing the whole.
Now let's think about this for a second.
Mhm.
Let's speculate here.
Yeah.
What if this Zack Snyder cut, which it's not just a retooling of the movie, they've actually went back and
it's like he finished what he was going to do.
Exactly, they finished it. So they shot additional. Yeah, they shot additional footage, and then they made a new movie practically. What if this is the film? What if this was the thing that reignited, re-energized that entire DC extended universe, whatever they're calling it? What if this is it? And they say, you know what? This is extremely popular. People actually got HBO Max subscriptions to watch this.
They're already up.
Right, and they're already already up for a myriad of reasons. Yeah. But let's say that this is what pushes it over the edge, and then DC, Warner Brothers, they look at each other and they say, we need to do something with this, and we cannot screw the pooch on this again. We have to do it, and we have to do it right. And I think this may happen. I think this does that.
Well, so it's funny you bring that up because so this question came up to me earlier already, and I was skeptical. I was immediately skeptical of everything, and I just said, I don't know if this is going to be what saves DCEU and all that other jazz. I just came flat out honest and said I think it's going to be great that they're going to finish what the movie was supposed to be, but as far as saving the DCEU, I don't know. I just said that was another animal. But
it's tough. It's a tough sell, but
what the word is today is that those that they've allowed screenings to that have already streamed it for an early screening, that the feedback is through the roof already. So much so that the conversations are back on the table at Warner about 2 and 3. Now, their response to the press and Zack Snyder's response to the press is that nothing is planned. But the word is getting out that, yeah, what you're talking about, let's not screw this up twice.
Yeah.
Those conversations are coming up. Because he's got a whole storyboards and material for Justice League 2 and 3.
Well, because think about what you have now. I mean, you have one of the greatest villains of all time of Darkseid that's supposed to be next. This is the Thanos for DC.
Yes,
well,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's worse in the comic books. It's much worse. He is a much more violent and apathetic villain than Thanos was.
If you think about it, Thanos was at least gonna say, "Well, I'll let half the universe live." That was his position. His position was, I just think everyone's hoarding everyone's food, and I don't want so many people starving, so I'm gonna just kill half of the galaxy. But that was his deal, half genocide. But Darkseid, no. He's gonna destroy everything.
Yeah, he just wants to just conquer, and that's it. So Johnny B. Good from I think this is one of the comments from YouTube that the rumblings are that with the early reviews, it is an entirely new movie, the epic, over emotional movie, which is what we're hoping for. I mean, I was like you. I mean, you sometimes you give a second chance, and even if that second chance comes, you're still really skeptical of it. You're like, I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know how much trust I can put into this film, because you think it's just a retooling. That happens all the time. They add a couple of things here and there. They throw you a bone. They release it in a different format, maybe a better resolution, and that you're like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. But if this is exactly what they say it is, a completely new movie, then let's see. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how it builds on these characters that we already know well because they kind of jumped the gun by doing Justice League, and then they did Aquaman, and then they were doing all these other things. So they jumped the gun a little bit,
A little.
and they didn't
Well, a
build
little.
it. They didn't build it up
A lot,
like
actually.
they didn't build it up like Marvel did,
No,
right?
unfortunately, no. They
So
should have.
and but now it is built up, and now we're getting a new original Justice League movie. So let's
But
see.
I went back and I watched Man of Steel again because I
Mhm.
hadn't seen it in quite a while.
Uh-huh.
I'd say at least it's been 5 years since I touched it,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are going to disagree with the statement I'm going to make right now because this is a big paradigm shift in where people view the Superman films.
Mhm.
But I give Richard Donner a 9, and I give Snyder's Man of Steel a 10.
And you know what? I agree. I do agree. I really do.
What Snyder did with the Superman origin.
Mhm.
Help me out. Who was Jor-El? Russell Crowe?
Yeah, he played Jor-El. Yeah.
I respect Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando is a legendary actor, right? I mean, you don't get too you don't get too much more epic than Marlon Brando, but how Russell Crowe delivered this particular Jor-El, like adding the whole aspect that Kryptonians were genetically engineered.
Right.
That they were genetically engineered children with predetermined destinies and purposes.
Mhm.
That just gave it so much more depth to the destruction of the planet, because you find out that Jor-El and Lar-El make this decision that they're gonna buck the entire system that was in place for over 100 years and give a natural birth versus just selection, and that it gave Zod more character, because Zod's no longer just this psychotic, maniacal guy out there just causing mayhem just to do it. That's not his thing anymore.
Yeah.
He's still psychotic and he's still causing mayhem, but he thinks it's because it's for the greater good.
Right.
Because he's trying to protect the integrity of the planet.
Yeah,
So,
you
that
humanize.
was so much better.
You humanize his rationale.
Yes,
instead of it just being Superman's a good guy, Zod is a bad guy, and that's just it. No, it's not black and white.
Zod was a bad guy because it was like conditioning, and he just misunderstands it. That's great, and you round all that out by picking Kevin Costner to play Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
And I look at the death of Jonathan Kent and Donner's, and that it's still emotionally jarring because all the guy wanted to do was have a race with his son. That's a very father-son thing to do. And he got picked to have a heart attack at that point. And that's just a very tragic, way to go. But not only was Jonathan Kent's Man of Steel ending very tragic, but Snyder made it heroic, because I can't think of a better image other than Kevin Costner as Jonathan standing there holding his hand out.
Yeah.
Telling Clark, do not do it.
Yeah.
Do not save me. And then Clark is standing there knowing that he's going to let his father die to father's ideals. All this stuff. I respect Donner. I respect that movie, but no, this one takes the edge because of these things. I never really put all that together when I first saw it. But now that I'm able to see it again and go back and get that perspective, oh my gosh. I mean,
yeah, and
Snyder's had some misses, but this was
and that was really good. But let's examine how Donner did this interpretation, because there hadn't been a live action interpretation of Superman since the or real. I think there hasn't been a real one since George Reeves.
60s, since the 60s TV, the TV series.
Yeah, since George Reeves series. Yeah. So, and that was very episodic, right? It was a serial, and it wasn't really geared towards story. It was geared towards heroics, right? Superman saves a cat out of a tree type stuff. Now, what Richard Donner did, now you've seen the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, which is much better. It is much better. And now, and it makes Superman 1 make a lot more sense. So those two
Oh, yeah.
movies, Superman 1 and Superman 2, really should just be one film.
One movie,
It really
which
should just be one
they,
movie.
they were being filmed at the same time.
They
It's
were
just,
being filmed at
yeah,
the same time.
you take into account finances and the run length that would have been on screen.
Mhm.
They didn't want to mess with any of that, so they split it into two films.
Yeah. So what you see here is you don't see it a lot of the upbringing of Clark Kent. It doesn't really involve his parents a whole lot. It's more of just what is Clark Kent and how is he shaping himself, starting to be Superman, and where does it go? And then all of a sudden you're just kind of thrown into General Zod and the Kryptonians that come out of the Phantom Zone. So what he did was nothing short of amazing with the technology
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
and bringing a man to life that can
The
fly.
big screen.
Yeah, exactly. So he made us believe that a man could fly,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
In that movie, and I think he did a fantastic job, right?
yeah.
And especially, I mean, it still holds up to this day. You can go back and watch Superman 1 and 2,
Oh, no
and
question.
then stop there. Don't go to 3 and 4. Just stop. All
Yeah.
right, and then
Plus the science, by the way.
just stop, and then maybe watch Superman Returns, and then that's it. But Superman Returns was very mediocre. It was a very mediocre story. Um, but 1 and 2 were great, and the Richard Donner cut made more sense. So now you're seeing when Man of Steel comes out, it is a much more honest interpretation of Superman, right?
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's not the same. But if you go back and you read every single different origin story that there is that DC puts out, because they change up his origin story all the time. There's different different interpretations, but there's always a constant, right? Superman is an alien. Superman is an
Yes.
orphan.
That's
Superman
one consistent. Yeah.
Superman is the last son, the last true son of Krypton, and there is always a Jonathan and Martha Kent, okay, and a Lois Lane. So those things are
Yes.
constant. They are constant. And now you have Lex Luthor thrown into this, but Lex Luthor in Man of Steel, right? And in I'm sorry, not in Man of Steel,
Yeah.
in Batman,
He appeared in
Batman,
Dawn of Justice first.
in Dawn of Justice, right? In Dawn of Justice, doesn't start off by being the true villain in that. He
No.
starts off,
No.
as a sub
He's just
villain.
all about his company.
Yeah, it's all about his company, and it's a sub villain.
Well, it was his father's company, and then he takes it over.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's all about LexCorp.
Yeah, exactly. So and then you start seeing why Superman and Lex Luthor now have beef, and why they will have beef, because he put Lois in danger.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, this is great. This is nothing but good news.
Good news.
Yeah, it's not. This is nothing but good news for any of you that are DC fans, Superman fans, like I am, even a Batman fan. And I know a lot of people don't like Ben Affleck as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, but
I didn't get it.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But I think
No. I didn't get why they were so.
Oh.
No, I'm on the opposite end of this.
I think he did great. I think he did a great job.
I think he did a great job with it. I really didn't see where all the negative feedback was coming from, other than just everyone having been used to Christian Bale for so long.
Well, everyone's used to a Batman that's in his early 30s. Everyone's used to Bruce Wayne being in his early 30s, with full black hair and without any kind of signs of aging. But this Batman, Batman has aged. He is closer to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns than he is to the Christian Bale Batman Begins.
But that's okay.
That is okay, because he does age. He ages.
They're not Princess Diana and they're not Kal-El. They're going to age.
Yeah, he ages. Now Zack Snyder mixed this up a little bit. He mixed some stories up, but that's fine, because you have to tell that in one way, shape, or form. You have to tell this story, because Frank Miller does such a great job in The Dark Knight Returns, from being in his 50s, and he put the mantle of Batman away for a little bit, and he picks it back up again after a hiatus, and it goes into why, the political reasons why. But he's older, but he's still Batman. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's feared. So it really brings a very I think, a very full circle approach to Bruce Wayne as a character and then Batman as a hero. So
Mhm.
it's both. It's both sides of the coin because if you think of it this way, Clark Kent is the alter ego of Superman.
Yeah.
Superman is Superman, right? When Clark
Right.
Kent takes off the glasses, he's not turning into Superman. He's just
No.
taking off his disguise.
She's taking off his disguise.
It's
Yes.
the other way around for Batman. The alter ego is Batman. He is Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
And because he is Bruce Wayne, he is just as powerful because of his resourcefulness, his brilliance, and his wealth, and he uses all of that to become Batman. So
Yep. Exactly.
Bruce Wayne is much more dangerous than Batman himself. So yeah. Oh,
But
we
the
got some.
the
Hold on, we got some comments here. Love Ben's Batman, but I'll always stand by this. Keaton's my Batman, but Ledger's my Joker. Yes. Michael Keaton. You remember you I remember you and I talked about this when we were kids about Michael Keaton being Batman in 1989. We talked about this.
Yep.
I mean, and you were like, "What? Michael Keaton? Beetlejuice? Really?
Yeah. I just couldn't. I
Beetlejuice?"
couldn't. I couldn't see it, and then it worked perfectly. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean it did. It really did. It's kind of shocking how well Michael Keaton dons the Batman costume. I don't think he made a great Bruce Wayne, but I think he made a pretty good Batman. So
his best line was when he just stared the Joker right down and said, "I made you. You
you
made me
made me
first."
first. That's right.
That was just. That
Yeah,
was epic.
but that went completely away from the comics. It was Joe Chill
It
that
did.
killed
It
Joe
did.
Chill killed
It was
Batman's
not the Joker
parents.
that killed his
It
parents.
was
No,
Joe
that.
Chill, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it wasn't, but that's an interesting twist.
It is.
It really is an but you know what that says is that it says that the Joker is a lot older, right,
Yes, a lot older,
than what Bruce Wayne and Batman is.
substantially older.
Oh,
Yes.
substantially older. So that's what it tells you because it shows a young Jack Napier going and killing his parents just for the sake of doing it. It really is just for the sake of doing it. And I mean, he's psychotic, and that's what goes into Tim Burton's Batman interpretation is that the Joker is truly psychotic but brilliant because Batman has the rap sheet of Jack Napier, and he's reading off what his interests are, and I think he minored or majored in chemistry,
Yeah.
and so that's why he is able to go and make these chemical alterations in all of the makeup. And when people put on their makeup and stuff like that, it turns them into the Joker laughing gas. You know, so
Hmm.
it's just really cool. I think it's just cool how it's all been done. It's good talking points. It's different interpretations.
Yeah.
But the things remain constant. Just like with Batman, there will always be an Alfred. There's always Alfred.
Always off.
It never goes away. There's always Alfred, and he's there, and he's the support. But
But
okay, cool.
19th
We
Thursday. That's when it's gonna hit.
Yep.
So, and then you got Falcon and Winter Soldier the very next day on the 19th as
Oh
well too.
yes.
So
I
yeah.
mean I really didn't know what to think of that at first.
Oh no, the trailers are great.
Yeah, the
Trailers are
trailers
great. But
are great.
but it just something they didn't expect. They just may be overshadowed by. We'll. It's going to be interesting to see who gets what number of streams. I'm interested to see
But
because
between
the
that one
Snyder
and
Cut. Yeah,
oh yeah yeah
because
yeah.
because they had been planning Falcon and Winter Soldier way before. They dropped that plan way before the Snyder Cut thing came. That was
Hmm.
before HBO Max. That was before the whole deal. Now this adds a little bit of competition for Falcon and Winter. Disney didn't know at the time that they were formulating that series that Warner was going to say, "Hey, we're gonna finish off Snyder's vision and we're gonna drop it one day before you on Max."
No,
They didn't
but you
do
know
that.
what? But this is what's cool about how we're getting
Streaming.
this content. Yeah, it's streaming,
Yeah,
and you can watch it at any time because what Mandalorian starts at what 2 a.m. something like that. It drops at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah, it drops at 2 a.m. for the rest. I mean, because it's just that's just how it is. It's doing it. You can watch it at any time. I mean, you can wake up with your insomnia or your sleep paralysis demon is keeping you awake. And you just
Yeah,
want to stream a little
just
bit. You can
just
watch it.
queue up queue up the Snyder Cut at 10 o'clock, and then just finish out at 2 a.m. and then start Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I see. I have class Thursday night. And it ends at 9:30, and I guarantee you, as soon as that's over, Snyder Cut is
Snyder Cut.
coming on. Snyder Cut is coming on. So, yeah, well, yeah, and I'm working all day. Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to watch it. I'm not gonna cram that in. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy it because I want to.
Soak it in.
I want to analyze it and geek out. So, um, yeah. So, well, okay. So Thursday's a big day
Thursday.
too because hey, I got my second COVID shot.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, I'm COVID and STD free. So,
Certainly hope so on the latter.
yeah.
Well, we do have some Star Wars stuff to get
Yeah,
to,
we,
and I
we,
think
we are a Star Wars fan show, so let's
believe it or
get to
not,
that.
the chatter has heated up.
About
You
Luke Skywalker?
I'm sure, of course, the memory has not left your mind of how season 2 wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, on the heels of that, with all the anticipation of Kenobi
Mm-hmm.
going on right now, all this chatter has heated up about a Luke spinoff, and
So okay, so tell me
I
about that.
I,
Are we
I
talking
get
about
why but as far as execution, I'm skeptical.
are we talking about young Luke Skywalker or old Luke
Yes,
Skywalker?
we're we're,
Oh.
we're talking about 5 year. We're talking about picking up right after Mandalorian season 2, just
Wow,
starting the academy. Yeah, I have
it's gonna be expensive.
big reservations on an execution level. Yeah, because you're talking about longer CGI shots. Now, here's what someone interjected about getting by the CGI expense.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to reach out to Sebastian Stan, who's already contracted with them
Mm-hmm.
for doing Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And getting a haircut and then going out and doing Luke and using Mark Hamill's voice over Sebastian Stan. And again, you get to an execution thing with that because I think it might be easier to do the lip syncing on the CGI
Mm-hmm.
because you can face map Mark Hamill current and then put the young CGI Luke, and then the lip sync will be dead on because he's face mapped. But if you're going to use an actor who looks like him, young Sebastian Stan, now you're talking about trying to sync up Sebastian Stan to the audio, and that becomes more problematic.
Yeah, now that would be trailblazing when it comes to filmmaking. I mean, yeah, that's just I mean a whole character being deep faked into his younger self for the entire series. It's gonna
You
be
know
tough.
what they're doing with these deepfakes, though. I mean, some group of people thought that someone who was deepfaking Tom Cruise was in fact Tom Cruise.
What?
Yeah, there's there's a dude out there
Uh-huh.
who did a self deepfake of Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And then everyone was commenting, "I can't believe Tom Cruise is putting this on YouTube." Like people were duped. And then he had to come out and say, "This is not Tom Cruise. This is me. I did a deepfake."
Oh, cool.
So
Oh, okay.
so perhaps the deepfaking technology mixed with what Disney can do with CGI, maybe that becomes a way to make it achievable. But again,
Okay.
I just I'm highly skeptical of it. It's very much just in the Chatterville right now. It's nothing anywhere close to official. It's not on the timeline that the Disney put out to the investors back in January. Or December, late December.
Well,
But the word is it's being heavily talked about.
well, I mean, let's see where it goes. I mean, maybe I mean, I'm pretty sure that they've asked Lucasfilm to do something like, hey, see if you can give us 30 minutes worth of footage with a young Luke Skywalker and let's see how it looks. You know, because I mean, I know, you know, you don't want to do it and make it look like how The Rock looked in the Scorpion King movie, you know,
No, 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 no. That was
or
terrible.
The Mummy 2. Yeah, because that was
That
just that was horrible.
that was awful.
That was so bad. Now, when you have a chance, go to YouTube and look this up because there is a group of CGI artists that redid it and they go through the
Oh, is
whole
it?
process. Yeah, and it looks really good. They did a really good job with it. So you need to check it out. But it goes through the whole thing, right? They talk about why it looks screwed up and how they fixed it and what they did. Um, you know, because you remember he did his rock thing. You know, he did the eyebrow thing,
Yeah.
in you know when he came out of that tomb or that sarcophagus, whatever.
And that was so just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really bad, and you know I'm glad that they actually made a movie after that called The Scorpion King, where it's just The Rock and they don't
That
have to
helped out a
CG.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they didn't have to CGI his scorpion body, and it's stupid. But yeah, but check it out, it's cool. I mean, I forgot what it's called. I mean, I'm sure I can look it up and I'll post it up. But the we've come leaps and bounds from when that happened.
Oh,
So
well, I'm glad someone redid it.
yeah. But you know, so you know, there's buzz about you know a Luke side story, cool. But here's my MBA talking. I want to know why Disney is closing 60 of their stores, their Disney stores. What have you been
Okay.
hearing? Which because I
So
haven't looked at anything.
I actually was caught quite by surprise with the closures just the other day. I saw a posting, and when I first saw it, my first reaction was, you know, it's a fake because
Hmm.
I didn't hear that it had been coming. And then once I went to Disney's webpage and saw that they had an actual store listing nationwide, and that it was going to be 60 stores.
Mm.
And if you live in San Antonio, you know, sorry to say, but all of them in San Antonio closed.
You have no Disney stores in San Antonio right now.
Ingram, North.
Oh,
They have, they
you
have
froze
to.
up. Wait, what did you say? There's I know there's one at North Star. There was one
Uh,
at Ingram. Wasn't there one that
Ingram,
wasn't there one at River Center? There was one at River Center.
right. Ingram, River Center, and North Star are all leaving, and they have to be
Wow.
gone by the 23rd. But if they
Wow.
get through their stuff, they can close earlier.
Why? What's I
So,
mean,
I mean, I have a lot of theories. There's a um, part of my theory is that we both know that Disney doesn't make their bank from the stores; they make it from the parks. And
hmm.
needless to say, last year was not a good year for their parks. So I can't remember what the number was that was furloughed, but it was a lot of people. And you had all those cast members that were furloughed. Now what's happening is, you know, more vaccines are getting out, which is good. And now the parks are like, hey, you know, by the summer, with the way vaccines are on an uptick and with as many as are getting out, we might actually be able to open up come
Hmm.
June or July.
Right.
If we're going to open up June or July, all those folks we furloughed, we need them back because it's going to cost them more money to train new folks.
All
Better to
right.
bring back better to bring back the folks you furloughed that are already trained and ready to go on day one than, I mean, imagine having to invest in training in over like 10,000 people. I mean, it's insane. So
Yeah, and you
yeah.
know what I find really interesting about this, and I'd really like to know what they plan on doing about this is that when you when a parent takes a kid into the Disney store, that is the and they when they don't live in Florida like I do here, um, that is their link, right, to
To
the
Disney
parks,
World.
to Disney
Yes.
World, right? It's like,
Yeah.
wow, look at this amazing world of Disney. I want to go to Disney World because it's like, you know, the Disney store is just a tiny slice of what Disney World is because, you know, people think of Magic Kingdom as the park, but no, it's not just Magic Kingdom as the park. It's everything else. I mean, because it's a massive property and
Oh yeah.
you have resorts everywhere and you have other things other than just the parks. They have the boardwalk at Disney. They have
And it needs a
Disney
mayor.
Springs.
Disney World needs a mayor.
Yeah, yeah, it would basically need a mayor.
It
But
needs a mayor. It needs a city council. It needs all that.
yeah, and there's so many ways that Disney brings revenue in there, and the idea is that you want to keep people on the property as long as possible. You don't want them to
Yeah.
have to go out for anything. You don't want to have to go out for food. You don't want to have to go out for Disney products. You don't want to have to go out for lodging. Everything is there. It's
No,
self-sustaining.
they let you bring your food in.
Yeah, and
They
you
don't.
can bring. Yeah, it's not
You
gated. I
can
mean,
bring 5, 6 ice chests, fill it up with whatever you want, bring it in. They don't care
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I
because
mean, Disney World is not
they don't
gated.
really want
No,
to sell you food as much as they want to do merchandise.
exactly. So
So
what I want to know is what is Disney's plan, and maybe it's with Disney Plus because and the Disney Channel. Maybe it's all this media content and not so
well,
much physical merchandise that they're going to use to get kids excited to start begging mom and dad, please take me to Orlando so I can go to Disney, or
it,
Anaheim so I can go to Disneyland.
you know, obviously, Plus is a huge part of it, right? Like
Hmm.
Disney Plus is like where it's at for them right now. And I
Hmm.
mean, people can talk the Carano thing through. I don't care. You're not you're not going to tell me that they're going to lose exponential amount of subscriptions from the Marvel fans who are itching to see Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier
Hmm.
because of her. I'm not even going to go there with that.
No,
So
and
that's fine.
we have
But
you put a post on our Facebook page, and it keeps getting reported by somebody. You know that?
oh, is that right? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it keeps getting reported.
Hmm, I have
I,
to
okay,
look at that.
okay. I mean, I don't see anything that bad with it, but I mean, it's whatever. But anyways, go ahead.
But you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's no one's going to tell me that that's going to bring those Plus subscriptions. It's not going to happen. Okay, you got
Hmm.
too much Star Wars, too much Marvel, too much going on in that arena. But the other thing that's going to be tagging along right behind that is going to be their omni-channel stuff.
Hmm.
So I think they're really going to get behind their omni-channel and e-sales. That's then I don't know if you heard, but they were doing a program with Target
Yeah,
where
you mentioned it here. Yeah.
so Target is going to be nowhere near the scale of a Disney store. Of course not.
Hmm.
It's not. But let's say you give Targets anywhere between 12 to 24 feet, right?
Right.
That's that's still 24 feet of merchandise that they can take
Hmm.
from the stores that closed, and you can put them up in the pegs over there. I mean, you no longer need to hire cast members to manage the inventory, to stock the inventory,
Hmm.
to uh, to sell it, to ring it up. All that can be done by Target's associates.
Hmm.
So all they got to do is just get them the product, which, I'm sure that there's something in there where Target gets a slice of that and Disney gets a slice of the revenue and it all works out. But
Maybe. I really just wonder from I think from it's not so much business, it's marketing because you're trying to draw people into the parks where you can really make your money. You have full control and autonomy as to what you can do, how you can do it. Because when you do go into the parks and when you do go into the Disney properties, there is a place to buy something everywhere.
oh yeah,
Everywhere.
believe
It's insane
mhm,
everywhere you go. They love it when it rains because people are forced to go into the stores and
forced
buy
to go
stuff.
into the stuff.
Yeah, they love it. They absolutely love it. They're like, "Oh, it's raining. Come on in. It's nice and dry in here." They love it, and it's
But
always packed. It's always
but
packed in every single store.
the interesting impact of this
Hmm.
with these 60 stores closing is there's something coming up around the corner that has a huge
What's that?
and that's May the 4th.
Oh yeah.
Because every May the 4th, along with Target and other retailers, I mean Disney always had the May the 4th pin to go get.
Hmm.
Last year was the first time that the May the 4th pin was only available online because of the pandemic. And then now with the Disney stores open back up, there was a lot of chatter, oh hey, I'm going to be able to go get back in line at Disney for my May the 4th pin this year because they're open. Well, nah, no, they're not open anymore.
Hmm.
So that's an interesting impact of this as well. It's gonna be fascinating to see. I mean, obviously I think the pin's gonna go back online. I really don't think they're gonna give the pins out to Target. I don't see it happening. I actually I actually think that getting the May the 4th pins out to Target would be nothing short of catastrophe. Just my opinion.
Catastrophe. That okay? All right, drama
I
queen.
I look. I don't know what to tell you. It's hard enough to go get in line in time at a Disney store to go get it,
Uh
where they've been very streamlined with it and they know what they're doing.
huh.
And then you get a box of pins and then I mean, you get merchandise at Target and you put a label on it that says don't open until September 1st for Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and then they open it in July and then they put it all out. I can't imagine what would happen with the pins.
Well, yeah, and I think that's happening with Pokemon cards right now too, because Pokemon has made this huge resurgence, and they are so hard to find right now.
What's going on with I've told you about these guys before, right?
Have you?
Vend, vendors, as we call them.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the polite term we use is vendors, but really what you want to use, and we're not talking vendors like retail vendors, good guys
We're
that
talking
go
about
out like
scalpers.
Coke and Coca-Cola. We're talking about scalpers.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the Pokemon cards now is scalpers are discovering that Star Wars collectors have started to use their noodle,
Mm-hmm.
and they are saying, you know what? I'm sick of spending gas and driving to 10 stores and finding nothing but empty pegs. That's
Mm-hmm.
starting to become a little taxing on me, not only just financially but emotionally, because I gotta spend the gas to go look around,
Uh-huh.
and I get disappointed everywhere I go. So
Yeah.
it's a crappy situation all around,
Flippers.
right?
Yeah.
So what they've decided is I'm just gonna be patient, and I'm gonna go to Entertainment Earth. I'm gonna go to ThinkGeek. I'm gonna go to GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the pre-order, and even if it's on back order, if I gotta wait 6 months, I'm gonna wait 6 months because at least I know I get it. So I don't care how long I wait. That's where it's gotten. And scalpers have discovered, oh my gosh, they're not really hitting me up for Black Series anymore because they're pre-ordering on their own. So they had to go find something else to go wipe out.
You know what? I bet you there are still people sitting on Xbox One X's, like the one I have just sitting right over here that I haven't unboxed yet, that they bought on launch.
I'll unbox it for you.
No, I've unboxed it. I've had it, but I mean, I just moved.
I'll be glad to unbox it and put it
I
over
gotta put my TV up, and then I'm gonna mount it on the wall. I'm gonna do this awesome setup, man. It's gonna be great. I have it all envisioned in my head. I just don't do a very good job of putting stuff to paper, but it's gonna look good, and I'll showcase it whenever I'm done. But yeah, I bet you there are still people that are sitting on them that's spent whatever, how much it was $500, and they probably still can't, and they still can't get rid of it because they're trying to mark up the price so high. They're probably trying to sell it for 700, 750, trying to make a $200, flip on this thing, and it's just probably not going to happen,
So that's the unfortunate thing with these Pokemon cards. They're going out and they're wiping out Pokemon cards from a whole section, and then they go to their websites and they say, well, here's a pack, and they won't even tell you what's in it because they don't open it.
Mm-hmm.
They just say, here's a foil pack of Pokemon cards for $400. And then, of course, you have some idiot that goes and buys it, immediately legitimizes them, and everyone starts thinking, oh my gosh, somebody just bought a pack of Pokemon cards for $400. I gotta go and try and find these things because they're the crown jewel of Queen Elizabeth II must be in one of these packs. So
the golden ticket to Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah, I gotta go try and get it. So I mean, it's really unfortunate what's going on because you just have the average kid who just put down their Switch and said, "Oh, I don't have that power. I gotta go get the card," and they can't go find a pack of cards.
It sucks.
And all they want to do is just get past the level in their game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
It's terrible.
Okay, so Disney's closing some stores. They're closing 60 stores. I don't know what their business plan is. I haven't really looked on anything. I'm sure there's some articles on Forbes that I should be reading, but I'm not. But I will. Maybe I'll get back with some sort of analysis by next show. Okay, so what are these Funko Pops that you're talking about?
Okay, so eventually, one of our loyal viewers that's on here,
Millions.
John Alamon, is eventually going to be working with us. He happens to be a Funko Pop expert, and he's going to talk about a lot of the stuff he has, and he's going to talk about the craze in general. He and I haven't reached a date yet, but we're going to.
Okay.
But part of the reason I brought up Funko Pop right now is it goes back to the CARA DUNE thing. So just like the Black Series of CARA DUNEs Funko has now discontinued just the way Hasbro cut the character from their Black Series and 3 1/4 vintage lines. Funko has cut the Cara Dune Funko Pop.
Canceled.
So if you don't have one and you're thinking about getting one, you better hurry up, or you might even be too late, because they're not going to manufacture anymore. And probably as soon as they made the announcement, you had the same Pokemoners out there that probably went and wiped out all the Dunes. But I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So something for the collector's corner. We should do that. We should do a little segment, a collector's corner.
Incidentally, I did pick up my Cara Dune Black Series.
Well, that's good, because that's going to be worth a pretty penny, soon,
and
eventually.
If you didn't already know, any Slave Leia figures from Return of the Jedi are also of value.
I know. I heard about that. What's going on with that? Are they Mr. Potato Heading that thing, or what?
You're don't make me get into that. You had to bring that up, didn't you? Because now I'm going to stray.
Go ahead. It's our it's our show. I mean,
I'm tired of the potato head conversation. I don't care. Who is it? Is it Hasbro, or who is it?
I don't know. It's
whoever it is.
Not my
Play School, whoever it is. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
They're a toy company that just said, I'm going to take the Mister out of Potato Head because I'm going to do it. If they want to appeal to the whole
Hasbro Play School. Yep.
If they want to appeal to the entire gender issue thing that's going on, and they just want to drop it, it's their product. They can call it Tinkerbell Potato. They can call it Optimus Prime Potato. Whatever. They can call it Potato of Troy. They can call it Sagittarius Potato. I don't know. I'm going off on the rails here with this, because I'm just so over this stuff. It's their product.
Yeah.
Here's a great example. Gold Star Electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Thought Gold Star sounded pretty stupid, so they said, we're going to become LG.
Uh-huh.
I don't see an entire horde of protest signs and people picketing and all this stuff because Gold Star wanted to become LG.
It's okay. Well, one, that's electronics. Nobody cares. But this is the big thing.
Branding.
Right. Yeah.
Branding.
Yeah. And this is the big stink that they're making, is because they think that they're taking the Mister out to be gender neutral, right? And maybe they are, but we don't know. And I don't care. I don't really care. I don't care. But it's but it's the same people getting upset about this that normally get upset about these things. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's the whole Gina Carano. It's the same.
Right. Look, it's that thing.
They're calling it Potato Head. Just live with it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just so over it all. I think someone put out that said it's only been called Mr. Potato Head. No.
This was Mrs. Potato Head.
They introduced Mrs. Potato Head, and they had Mrs. Potato Head boxes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
But it's the same thing. It's the same potato. It's just
Potato Head.
It's just a potato.
Oh, it's just potato?
Yeah, it's just a potato. Potatoes don't have genders. It's a vegetable, man.
Isn't that the funniest thing of it?
Yeah. Why is everyone getting so mad? Like, calling it Mr. Potato Head is just wrong. You're not. I mean, you're wrong by saying that. You're assigning a gender to a potato. It's a vegetable. You eat it.
How dare you not say Mrs. Asparagus?
Or Madam Asparagus. Okay. I would like to have some Mrs. Strawberries, please, not Mr. Strawberries.
Our Funko Pop expert just dropped something on us right now. So the cheapest you can find a Cara Dune Pop is $50.
What do they go for normally?
I believe some of them are as cheap as 10 or $20. So it's already marking up anywhere between 40 and 30.
Ah, all right.
So interesting.
Already, huh?
But I want to touch on something that's gonna grind your gears now.
Oh, it's gonna really grind my gears. Okay.
Grind your gears. We should have a segment called "Grind Your Gears." You know,
Okay, we could do
the
that.
whole the
Yeah,
whole
we could totally do that.
the whole potato thing grinded my gears. But before
Stupid.
before I get into this, by the way, I want to still thank our cohorts with Bad Customs, and it was $10. He just dropped it. ten
It
bucks. He
was
just
ten
dropped it.
dollars. It was originally $10.
ten
Okay.
dollars. So it's a 40 markup. But I want to thank our cohorts at Bad Customs and also Farrah Rose Designs as always. Um, we appreciate everything that you do with us, and everyone go check them out if you have a chance. So I'm gonna grind the Tuscans' gears here real
All
quick.
right. Oh, okay.
So Disney, who's the CEO now?
Well, it
I
was
keep
who took over for who's
yeah,
taking? No,
who took over?
Iger hasn't stepped down yet, has he?
Oh no, he has. I think some because this person already came out and made a statement on Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, so he's the chairman right now. Who took over? His name is Bob Chapek.
Thank you, Chapek.
Yeah.
So this guy Chapek came out and released a statement because the Kathleen Kennedy stuff has just continued to heat up more and more and more and more, and everyone's just calling for her to go to the guillotine, right? Which, I mean, I kind of heard they parked a guillotine right outside her office door. Not that anyone's been, constructing like hangman nooses outside buildings or anything. That doesn't go on in this country, right? Okay, no, but so I hear they're just calling for her to go to the guillotine, and he finally released a statement. Kathleen Kennedy is not going anywhere. That's it. He came out. They love her. They're elated with what she's done. Use terms such as that. Has brought great success to Lucasfilm. And she is the property's future. That's it. So
okay.
Anyone? Yep. Sorry, man. If you wanted her gone, it's not happening. Not happening.
Okay, let me kind of clear this up. Okay, so I think what I took issue with, I'm going to say this. I think what I took issue with was her excuse for why The Last Jedi wasn't so great, or this sequel trilogy wasn't so great. She says, "Well, we had no source material to go on." And I don't like that excuse. I'm like, you had the source material.
She didn't have any canonical source material.
Oh yes, she did. She did.
That wasn't canon.
Oh, she had the mind of George Lucas. And
yeah, that's not what she was referring to.
Well, that's what I'm referring to. So
that's convenient for you, but it's not what she was referring to.
Well, we know that everything is at my convenience, right? So I just didn't like I didn't like that answer. That's all it is I didn't like it. So that's why I had taken issue with what she's been doing.
Was because issue?
I don't know. It's British, I guess. I don't know. And now I feel dirty for saying that. But
in short, you felt she should have doubled her efforts.
No, I felt that she should have been British.
Not even Aaron McGregor is British, and he's going to be playing a British Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, come on.
No, he's not British. He's Antarctican. He's Scandinavian.
Whatever it is.
Right. He's
Irish or something.
He's a British Italian.
British Italian.
That's what he's British Italian.
Well,
yeah.
What's great, because I know it's just eating at you, and I'm sorry, but what she was referring to was stuff that was in canon that she could have used for sequel material.
Right, I
Because
got
it
it.
was
Okay, I got it. I mean, okay, I see, I know what she meant. I know what she was
she's
saying.
letting you know that she can't use Timothy Zahn, that she can't use Dark Horse. She's letting you know all that.
I got it. But you had,
As much as you want Timothy Zahn and Dark Horse to get used, you can't use it because it's no longer in there.
well, you had George Lucas, and you could have used him, but you didn't want to use him. So I don't know what to say to that.
Oh, I got a number story on George Lucas before we close out
Go for it.
because we're gonna. George Lucas, I will say this, is a financial genius.
Yeah, he sold Star Wars for how much?
No. But it's what he did after that.
The merchandising.
So no. The merchandising he's always going to have.
Hmm.
He already set that up back in '77.
Okay.
But when he sold Disney, he sold it for $4 billion, right? Yes, it's
Okay.
$4 billion.
Okay.
It's $4 billion.
Okay.
He sold it for $4 billion.
Okay.
When he got the $4 billion, he reported out that he wasn't keeping it. He was going to keep only so much of it,
Hmm.
and the rest of it was he donated the rest of it to other educational funds and all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
Okay. What he didn't say, what just recently got published in Forbes just recently, which is astounding, and I'm going to get to it.
Hmm.
So Disney, after they purchased the property for $4 billion, the aim was to make good on their investment, right? And it was a
Right.
question of how that would take.
Right.
Well, what they didn't expect was Force Awakens to do almost half of it. They didn't expect that. So, I mean, they were already jumping out the gate. And then, you know, Rogue One got them another billion. So they're like, hey, we only need one more billion and we're already going to be profit. They had Infinity War. And then, of course, you had Last Jedi. So everything after Last Jedi and Endgame was just straight cash. Okay?
Okay.
That they were already profiting off the $4 billion purchase at that point.
Well, they made it, but remember the cost of producing the actual films. Don't
No,
forget
right.
that's
But even after all that, it was still profit.
Hmm.
After they paid all that out,
Hmm.
they were still banking.
Hmm.
So it got reported in Forbes that what George Lucas did was, yes, he didn't keep all of it,
Hmm.
but he only donated $2 billion of it.
Okay.
The other $2 billion he spent, and what he ended up doing was he spent that entire $2 billion in shares
Of
of
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
And now that Disney has already turned everything, George Lucas's net worth now is $10 billion.
$10 billion. I think I'm worth negative half a million.
So there's been a few of the wealthiest individuals out there. I won't name them, but that have been rather critical of George, and he just reminded everybody, yeah, he's not. His net worth isn't what I am right now, and he just left it at that. So I thought that was great. um,
All right.
so
Well,
it's well played, sir. Is all I can say about George Lucas. Well played.
well, I'm really happy for him, but I don't think he's getting a stimulus check. So,
I doubt it. I think he'll be okay.
yeah,
Hold
I
on.
think I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Well, all right, man. So,
And
did we cover all of our top? Oh no, we didn't.
no,
Yeah, did
we're
we?
a little short, but it's okay because we're already at the hour. So I mean,
Okay, well
we went into
that's
a lot
fine.
of
Well, I
stuff.
mean, we're gonna be here next week anyway. Actually, we're not really we're not taking a break, man. We don't have to take a
Yeah,
break.
no, I mean
I'm
you
in.
did you did the, I don't know what even to call it, the rapid move, the flash move, the
Yeah.
flashpoint, the moving flashpoint paradox. I don't know what to call it.
I jumped ahead into time. So yeah, yeah, we're good. We're not taking any hiatus at all. We're here. We're ready to rock and
I
roll, man.
to put time in a bottle.
Oh my God,
That didn't work, huh?
that's such a dad
No,
thing to do.
no.
Uh,
God, man.
all right, man. So, Okay, so we'll be back next week. We're gonna talk. We're okay. Let's just let everyone know right here, right now. We're gonna be talking the Zack Snyder Justice League. We're gonna spend.
Yeah, let's get that out right now because that's
Yeah,
gonna need to get discussed.
yeah. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna analyze it.
But we are gonna talk Snyder Cut.
We're gonna analyze it. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna give our thoughts, and that's just really it.
It's too exciting to talk about.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, so Monday will be a good show because you're gonna see me really get into it because I love Star Wars, but DC is my passion.
You know what?
So
Instead of wearing Star Wars stuff, I'm gonna wear comic stuff next week.
I have a Superman shirt.
I
All right.
don't have that, but
I can wear that.
I'm just gonna split the desk with half Star Wars stuff and half DC stuff. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Do it.
I'm gonna keep everything pretty much the same. I may have these boxes unpacked by that time, but I'm not sure. I got to figure out what I'm gonna get as far as bookshelves go. But
I know a company of gnomes that are really reliable.
A company of gnomes.
Uber gnomes, yeah.
Okay.
It's perfect because I mean, like they could be working and you don't even see them because they're gnomes, and they're just getting stuff done.
Keebler elves.
No, gnomes. They're shorter than elves. These are gnomes.
Is there a difference? How would you know that? What is this, Middle Earth? All right. All right. It's time to go. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey. Thanks for everybody checking us out. I know it's late here on the East Coast, and it's getting that way over in the Middle Coast. But we'll be back next week, Brian. Hey, take care of yourself. Everybody, stay safe, stay COVID free. Wear a condom on your hands. That helps. Well, let's yub nub out of here before I get any more inappropriate. All right.
Yeah, please. We're gonna yub nub out of here.
All right, we're yubbing nubbing. Bye bye.